Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm Robert and this is gonna be my build. Today, whoop, I did a bit of a crazy zoom there. Yeah, let's just first show off. This is a building Met 325B made. You could read that, I think, I hope, and I'll show a nighttime shot at the end of the video. But today we're building a viaduct or something like that. There's already like 2 viaducts over here, and I don't know, when planning this video I was looking at the city a bunch and I recognized that I still needed like a passenger connection into the industrial area that this is going to be, and so I decided to alongside with there being the tram network that's gonna be maybe going through here, I wanted to do a real connection. So I ended up trying some things out, and I came up with an idea of just doing a crazy viaduct over here. So yeah, let's explain how the viaduct works. So the lowest rail level there, you could call that level 0, and then the viaduct going over that, well, there's the road viaduct that's at 7.5 meters, and then there's this rail viaduct, but that needs to be at 15.5 meters. So that's a little bit more than 2 times 7.5. And the viaduct going over the road is 7.5 as well. So you've got to get the 0.5 somewhere. That's why I started by raising that bit of road over there just a little bit, so I could make all the viaducts look smooth. And yeah, so here I'm just raising, lowering the land, flattening it, using pad molds. What pad molds do in this case is they help you keep the terrain the way you want it, because they stop the terrain from raising and lowering when you're building stuff. And especially rails are quite notorious for changing the land. So whenever you're doing something like this and you're doing careful raising and lowering of land, I would suggest that you just use some pad molds to keep the amount of unexpected results to the minimal. So here we have like a double viaduct in a row, and then it goes under the rail, and then there's also the one going under the road. So that's like a viaduct, I hope. Oh yeah, and there's a little bonus viaduct gonna be here. So I don't know how many vias that is, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't, it doesn't count as clickbaiting. I'm pretty sure that I have enough vias to name the video the way I did. Alright. Here I was trying out to see if I could do a diagonal rail going underneath one of those viaducts. And I think these just don't have the puzzle pieces for that yet. Or maybe I needed to use... No, I don't think... I think it just doesn't have the puzzle pieces. So that might also be a limitation of the way these viaducts work, that it can't really see a diagonal rail wanting to cross it. Yeah, so then I ended up doing an orthogonal, which is of course, I don't know, I guess it's not the opposite of diagonal. I don't know. It's like 4 directions instead of 4 plus whatever the diagonal directions add. Whatever. I'm making it more complicated than it should be. And so I decided to just go with a relatively short viaduct over here. I guess it's still one longer than it needs to be, but everything fits. I decided to redo this real bit, and yeah, I ended up changing the curve there. Yeah, so what I also did in between ooh, that looked rough at the start, huh? But it looks pretty smooth now. What I also did is I looked at the network add-on mod documentation, and yeah, so these rails and stuff, they are part of that mod. It's like a mod pack that has all kinds of roads and stuff. And So I looked at the documentation to see how to drag these rail bits. So there's like smoother versions of these, the turnouts, and then there's smoother versions of bends and stuff. And they have draggable patterns, so you don't need to scroll through a menu and then another menu. First there's of course the menu to get to the puzzle pieces, and then you'd have to tap through all the puzzle pieces. So I decided to just see if I could learn them. Here I'm trying to get a rail bridge going, and as nice as the canal parts are, the rail, I guess I was also looking if there's like some station kind of thingy that I could put on top of the place where the bridge is, because it does have the sidings of a drawbridge, but the grass texture is underneath there, so it looks kind of weird. I'm not sure. I guess with roads it might look alright if you have the pavement next to them, but for this one that didn't work. And then I thought maybe I'll do this one. And one thing I noticed after doing this video, but also maybe during the video, is that the pieces of this canal set seem to be raised a bit, as in that they are showing a little bit of a gap vertically. I don't know. Yeah, here you can see it more clearly. So there's like the pavement texture underneath them, and yeah, well, that one's just on the slope, so that makes sense. But they seem to be floating a bit above the flat. Yeah, here you can see it more clearly, I think. And then, yeah. So what I ended up doing after doing this recording is testing and checking out in the lot editor what those lots were doing and stuff. And they were actually raised like 0.5 meters above the ground. Yeah, here I try to force them to not move, but yeah, it's just a prop. So yeah, first thing that I've learned was that the whole canal piece is one big giant prop. So what I tried here was lowering it all by 0.5 meters and then raising the ground around it, and that seemed to work. It seemed to fit. But then I couldn't, as you'll probably see for the next minute or so, is that I'm gonna be trying out some other things to see if I can make it work. But the problem here is that there's some slopage going on underneath those lots, and that slopage is gonna stop me from dragging the rails across. So I ended up going with another version of a rail bridge. I'm not even sure if this one opens up, but the other one also doesn't open up. I think only the road bridges open up. So yeah, at first I could drag the rail, but then it lowered the rail, I think. Yeah, it probably lowered the rail because the lot couldn't change anymore. So yeah, and here I'm trying to just drag across, but the petmoles there, and it won't, because the petmoles make it so the rail doesn't sink into the ground, and the lot makes it so underneath it doesn't sink into the ground. So yeah, I guess I could have made it visually work a bit, but yeah, I was having some issues here. I tried maybe using the hybrid rail, maybe you could just plop that across, but nope. And I'm gonna be trying some stuff here. I don't know why I didn't cut this out. I think, I mean, once I did my initial editing, I noticed that the video was only 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, it's probably better to just get the video finished as soon as possible, rather than, because I haven't really had a lot of time this week to do video stuff. Work was demanding, and then I also wanted to do as much recording of the what's it called? Sweet Transit game. There will be some more videos coming of that, but yeah, that's also gonna require a bit of work. So here I tried, maybe I can just do a partial lowering and it still work, but no. So yeah, after recording this video, I spent like 3 hours or something messing around with these lots and figuring out what was going on with them. And so one part was that they were raised, but another part of it is that they are not all aligned properly, I think. And so I tried to learn how this coordinate system in the lot editor and as well in the lot editor as well as in the reader works. Because if I went to go into the lot editor and manually edited each of those, I reckoned that it would be a lot of work. So I thought, wait, maybe I can just do them in the reader. So what the lot editor is it's a program that was made available by Electronic Arts when I guess SimCity was still relatively new. It was probably like 20 years ago or so. No, not 20, it's more like 15, 16, 17 years ago. So, and yeah, it's something they also did for SimCity 2000, I believe, because I do remember as a kid that you would be able to just make your own buildings. And well, I didn't really, as a kid, I didn't have the tools to do like cool building editing, and it was all super pixelated, of course, because 90s graphics, and you could draw something pixel by pixel and then just maybe make a bit of a pattern, copy, and I did make a building, and I also experimented because they even allowed for you to make like a series of pixels. I think probably like 16 pixels or something like that. And yeah, so you draw it's like a pixel with a series of colors, right? So you could then use that to make like a billboard commercial or something like that. So I even experimented with that a bit, and I don't know when we got that game. It's always hard to remember exactly the timing of stuff that happened like 20 plus years ago, but I reckon I must have been pretty young. So sometimes when I think back of the crazy shit I did as a kid, I'm like, wait, that was pretty ridiculous that I even got that close to making like my own building in like SimCity 2000. I guess I could do a video on SimCity 2000 sometimes and maybe even make my own building just for fun, just as a callback. Yeah, so here it raised the viaduct over there, and yeah, sometimes when it raises stuff it's pretty hard to fix it, I learned. So I ended up fixing it like that, but then the slope is pretty awkward over there, and I decided I wanted to change that idea. Yeah, how you get these rail in road things, by the way, is that once you have a bit of it, you can just drag, I think you just tap the L rail, elevated rail on the pieces, and then it changes it automatically. Yeah, so the industry over there is now not connected to the road, so I'm gonna have to I think I want to change that at some point. Yeah, here I just dug into the ground, so I decided, well, that's not really how we do things around here, and I decided to fix it, and there we go, it's pretty smooth now. So we still have this pretty cool but crazy bend going like that, and I'm trying to like think, how did I connect that? Because I want one line going like into the viaduct, and I want one to end up over there, but the S-bend that you can do doesn't work for viaducts. So I ended up finding a way to do it, but it looked pretty ugly, and it made all the stuff that I did with the Oh yeah, you just see me trying to figure out what's going on here. And yeah, so you can't really start a split off right next to the viaduct. So I ended up figuring out that I might have had to do, yeah, no, I'm still not figuring it out. I ended up with that, and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna be the thing. That's just not gonna be it. So I decided to do it differently. I'm sorry for the creaking of my chair. I have a pretty cheap chair and it's gonna be creaking. So I decided to do things differently. First of all, I had that idea already before that I might want to do like a platform over there. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember what I was doing here. I thought I forgot to connect that, but no, yeah, I did a split off over there. And I tried to make it smooth, but I don't know what went wrong with that one. I don't know why I didn't want to do a smooth bend over there, but I ended up figuring out an in-between bend, so that was alright. And sometimes when it doesn't let you drag rail all the way across a piece of land, you can drag a bit from both sides and then connect it and smooth it out by dragging bits on the most rough, like bumpy pieces, and then it will slowly smoothen it out. If the whole I guess height change is a bit too steep, then you might just want to change your plan, but sometimes it just lets you generate a pretty smooth, because I'm just doing it for the smoothness, right? It's not really it's not a functional demand or something to have smooth bends. It's not like these trains actually simulate that the smooth bends are giving them less of a slowdown or something like that. And here I found a way to get in there. And another thing about the viaducts is that for the split offs, they don't have a smoother version, so you can only do the pretty rough one that I'm using over there, and not the smooth one that I used at the station. That's kind of sad, but it looks alright. I think this looks interesting enough. We have the Viaduct. We have Viaduct rail going all the way across that neighborhood, and I'm probably gonna be building some industrial, maybe some residential. I'm really not sure. I think the commercial might also make sense with some stations around the triangle over there, because you have like 3 spots for stations. Anyways, here's a little bit of a slow pan over the city going. I guess I didn't really show the Viaduct, but I really just wanted to show this nice building from 325B. He made it a couple of years ago, so as it says, please comment, like and subscribe if you like the video, of course that is, and also if you have like points of improvement, whatever. Anyways, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'd like to see you again. Goodbye.